Welcome to the energy of the day for Wednesday, May 14th. So, we're going to see what is going on for today. Let's take a look here. Let's see what is happening. Just give me a second. Oh, already. We have bring love into the situation. So, uh, there may be an Aquarius, possible. This may be advice for one, possible. Otherwise, it's mostly just for everyone here to realize that some things just happen out of the blue, that kind of thing. They're on, like, they're not expected, right? And it's just better to, figure something out with a calm, cool, collected demeanor, bringing some understanding, bring some acceptance, maybe even forgiveness into a specific situation, right? So we're going to see what is going on, though, for this to actually pop out. So let's take a look here. Maybe there is somebody that people require to forgive. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, yep. Okay. So, what we actually have here overall is that there is an individual who recently just left a situation. It took them a lot of inner strength, personal power, that kind of thing, in order to leave that situation and, kind of respark, reshape their life, that kind of thing. If this person has not done this just yet, because I do see that someone here is still a little bit tired, all right? Tired of dealing with the same old. Tired of dealing with negative individuals that impact them in a hurtful fashion. Tired of having to keep trying all the time and having more misses than actual hits. This is one of those readings that is just encouraging a person to, it technically says congratulations for leaving because it wasn't your place, right? It wasn't really, it was only temporary to be there, that kind of thing, to learn some things, maybe to overcome some things, that kind of thing, to strengthen your resolve, to strengthen your spirit. And then now it's time to kind of, get up and go, get up and move, and start really being motivated for oneself, driven for oneself, that kind of thing. Even though a person here may feel pretty tired, pretty tired of the unfortunate stuff here, tired of always having to try for a new beginning, and tired of the fact that majority of the time the new beginnings look good at the beginning, right? But then turn out toxic or turn out unfortunate or whatever this says, right? This can also apply to situations like friends with benefits, that kind of stuff as well, okay? And you may feel, some people actually, once they leave, may feel um, a little bit dim, you know, uh, for for the fact that they bent backwards so much for another person's unrealistic expectations, all that stuff, right? They allowed themselves to kind of lose their own identity, lose their own light, what makes them into who they are, for the sake of keeping around that other person. Also, maybe a little bit of due to convenience, something like that too. Whatever this is, right? And then once it doesn't work out, the person who did a lot of the sacrificing, did a lot of the work, and things of that nature, feels doesn't feel like the smartest tool in the shed, right? And unfortunately, here, it turned out the way that it did, but this read is more about encouraging you to keep going, even if there are some failures here and there. Not every single one, not every single experience is going to be a failed outcome. Okay, so there's that too. Something about a required mental switch of always assuming that things are not going to go well, or you're going to lose that specific person, that specific job, that specific friend, that specific environment, whatever this is. So it's letting you know not to kind of lose hope in situations that are tiring and unfortunate here, and whatever the case is. Yeah, if you can see that if you can see that it's going south, this is the best part. If you can see that it's going south, you're required to bow out, recognize it for what it is, and then move yourself forward emotionally. And this way you can, you can recuperate a lot quicker, right? You can recuperate from a situation a lot quicker. It does take a lot of strength to sometimes throw in the towel, but it also takes more strength to realize that it was only temporary, that it was a lesson, and that you can take something away from it. Also, more strength to understand that, the person fulfilled their role, the place fulfilled its role, the title fulfilled its role, whatever, right? And it was just, more like an acceptance. It's like an acceptance of it, but in a way where it's from a place of understanding, and then you can forgive that person, and then or that situation, and then move forward from there, kind of thing. Even though, yes, it has depleted your spirit here. Okay, yes, it has. But this part here is more about, hey, if you see it's wrong, maybe question the continuation of a certain person, dealing with a certain person, dealing with a certain environment, whatever the case is, right? So in terms of signs here, Eight of Cups is more like a Scorpio. Strength card is a Leo. Ace of Wands is any fire sign, but I would actually say Sagittarius in this case. Nine of Wands also a Sagittarius for some reason, and a little bit of, who is this? Hold on. All of them, actually, with the Nine of Wands with this one here, all of them. Ace of Pentacles is like Virgo and Taurus, Capricorn here. Five of Swords is like Gemini, Aquarius. The Sun card is the Leo. And the Queen of Cups is pretty much any water sign, but this one feels like Pisces, Cancer. Okay? So let's keep going. Let's see what is going on here. Let's take a look. Okay, some boo-boos, of course. We've got the fire. We've got the Leo. Yeah. Okay, give me a second. Somebody could be... Also, another thing, somebody could be showing up that they're okay, but they're not okay, right? The person who had to leave is showing up like they're okay, but they're really not okay. They're just tired of having, like, repetitive failures in something that they always hope that will go further, but then turns out like a toxic boo-boo here. All right, give me a second. Another boo-boo, Virgo. And, okay, so this one, and underneath is air. All right, let's talk about it, because it seems like communication could be a struggle a little bit here, and it's required, okay? In any situation that you get into, communication is required. Even if you're in a, temporary situation or situationship, right? Communication always requires to be the frontliner, right? It's like the bonding agent that keeps things together, no matter what type of temporary situation you have, or long-term situation you have, or short-term situation you have. Communication is key here, very, very specifically. But I wanted to say that there was an individual here who kind of lost their reasoning, lost their ability to criticize in a constructive manner of a situation, and a situation filled with illusions, right? They had a hard time. A person had a hard time figuring out something that was based on, well, I mean, hopes and dreams, sure. But then how much of that hope and dream became an illusion, right? That's the real question here. How much was this person actually willing to overlook another's problematic personality just because they wanted that offer so badly, right? So it's very important that when you see something that's going downhill, you just, you get on the wagon and you go for it. And I do mean real toxic stuff. I'm not talking about, they're a little bit petty from time to time, or competitive from time to time. I'm talking about the real stuff. I'm talking about the stuff that, truly hurts your inner spirit, truly hurts your feelings, truly, makes you question even why you're there to begin with. Those types of situations and individuals that cause that type of moment for you to stop and reflect. That's when you start to listen to that part of yourself where it's stopping and reflecting. A person could have not have that. Like they couldn't really maneuver through the murky waters that was given to this person by a specific individual who actually spoke pretty nicely over here too. They schmoozed the shit out of you guys. I'm so sorry for the language, but it seems like it was like that, right? Let's see what the animal, messages from your animal spirit guide says, and then we'll move along from there. Fire, any fire sign, by the way, and Neptune is also Pisces. Okay, let's go ahead here. Ooh, already the elk. This is a good one. It actually says, stand tall and maintain your dignity no matter what, and others will treat you with the respect that you deserve. Aha. Right. So, like I was saying, if you don't see things in an equalized fashion, and you see the situation or the person causing you a lot of grief, a lot of pain, and emotional turmoil, you better choose yourself. Okay. I wish you guys all the very best. Have a great Wednesday, and I will see you all tomorrow for Thursday. Bye bye.